Of May, the year being 2024. Happy Mother's Day, including my own mom, Miss Mary Moige. Bless you from wherever you're joining us. This is TV 47 News now. Time to bring you up to speed on the special day that is Mother's Day. But first, here are some of the stories making headlines. Rift Valley leaders have urged parents to exercise caution as schools reopen amid these floods. Hundreds of passengers stranded at Gamba Bridge along Minjila Lamu Road as floods swept away Gamba Bridge, paralyzing transport in the area. Garissa religious leaders are now appealing for more help for flood victims. Once again, welcome to the broadcast. My name is Moige William. 1 minute to the top of the hour East African time. Let us bring you up to speed here on TV 47 News now. Now, starting off from Mombasa County, whereby hundreds of passengers are stranded at Gamba Bridge along Minjila Lamu Road as floods swept away Gamba Bridge, paralyzing transport system. Passengers heading to Lamu County and from Lamu to Mombasa have been forced to use speedboats to connect to other sections of the road. This comes as a result of River Tana bursting its banks, affecting Gamba police station and villages, forcing Red Cross and Lamu County government officials to urge locals to relocate to safe grounds. Passengers and residents have been urged to exercise caution while crossing the area as parents fear that the flood might affect reopening of schools Monday.
Talk on behalf of Biden, the US.
Yenyewe imepanda, tukisikilia kule Kiboti 500, tukisikilia hapa Mokoe 300, tukisikilia kwa Gamba tena 500, na sisi ni hali zetu ni maskini. Tutasafiri namna gani? Shule yafunguliwa na fare na kwa imepanda juu, sisi tutakuwa namna gani kwenda kupeleka watoto shule?
Kwa sababu utavuka hapa mpaka Mokoe, uvuke Mokoe chukue bus mpaka ama shuttle mpaka Gamba. Ukifika hapo Gamba barabara niyo imekatika. Mpaka tena utume tena usafiri mwingine wa boti. So usafiri unakuwa wa gharama sana. Kuna makazi, watu wengi wameairisha mambo na masafari zao, na sisi tunatarajia watu wasafiri na sisi ndo tupate hizo riziki za nyumbani.
Barabara kule pia imevunjika, watu kuja huku ama kwenda kule pia hakuna. Sababu wamesikia kwa habari barabara imevunjika, kwa hivyo watu kutoka hapa kwenda huko hakuna na kutoka kule kuja huku pia hakuna.
That is the situation in Lamu. Elsewhere, leaders from Rift Valley have urged parents to exercise care. Schools open on Monday after postponement for 2 weeks by government due to the heavy rainfalls that has occasioned flooding in the country. Speaking at a fundraiser in aid of purchase of coffee pulping machine for farmers in Kilingot area in Osen, led by the Senate Majority Leader Aaron Cheriot, the leader said the reopening of schools should be seamless and called upon parents to take their children to school rather than just sending them. This, according to the leaders, will ensure their safety. This comes at a time when schools reopening has been postponed for 2 weeks following heavy rains that has been pounding several parts of the country, resulting to loss of more than 200 that is among the school-going children.
Rais ametangaza juzi kwamba mashule yote ifunguliwe. Ile ningependa kuomba wazazi ni kwamba wakati tunapeleka watoto wetu shule, tuwe tumeangalia vizuri kwanza na tuwe na hakika. Ni vizuri watoto kwenda shule, lakini ni vizuri zaidi kuhakikisha kwamba barabara ile watoto wanapitia iko sawa kwanza kabla sisi kuruhusu watoto wetu kwenda shule. Kama kuna challenge yoyote, tafadhali tugoje kwanza mpaka hali ya hewa iwe sawa vizuri ili watoto wetu waweze kwenda shule.
Jumatatu tarehe 13 pelekeni watoto shule mukikuwa uangalifu kwa barabara, kwa maji na kwa pale popote ambaye mnapita. Let us all take our children to school and be careful on wherever you cross waters.
Tunataka kuwasi mlinde watoto wetu. Kama ni kupeleka shule, muwapeleka asubuhi na mapema, by saa 8 shule watoto wamefika, walimu mpokee watoto mapema, na iwapo kutakuwa na changa yote ambayo itafanya mtoto ajelewe, huyo mtoto asiende shule on Monday, aende on Tuesday. Tuko pamoja.
All right, still on matters floods, the Council of Imam and Preachers of Kenya is now appealing to the government, NGOs and well-wishers to increase their support to flood victims currently being hosted in different camps in Garissa. Garissa has the largest number of IDPs, totaling to 21,597 across 12 camps. According to the government, the flash floods have so far affected 29 counties. In Garissa Township, a total of 13,770 IDPs are being hosted in 5 institutions. The institutions include schools that is Hyuga Primary, Young Muslim High School, Jaribu Primary, Kajuko Primary School, and the NEP Technical College.
Primary Young Muslim tusaidie waathiriwa 306. Tumelete chakula, ugali, unga ngano, maziwa na pia ungo wingi mnaona hapa, na pia hata iko mchele, iko sukari, iko githeri, kila kitu iko naye kusaidia hao waathiriwa.
Sisi watu wa Salawod tumeathirika na hii mfuriko. Ile ya kwanza hapo awali tumefurika kabisa. Hii ya leo tena tuko naye sasa ni karibu 80% of Salawod wamekuwa wameathirika. Ukiangalia mfano sasa leo, hii ni kampi inaitwa Dairy. Dairy ni kijiji nzima, wako hapa chini karibu na mto. Wamefurika kabisa, ile hali wamehamia huko shule inaitwa Young Muslim.
Kuna familia asilimia karibu 306 household who have been affected by the current floods being experienced due to overflooding of River Tana. Katika Garissa County tuko na kambi 12 ambayo shida ni hii moja tu. Shida ni ukosefu wa maji, ukosefu wa chakula na ukosefu wa mahali pa kukaa. Lakini serikali kuu imejithabiti na imewatafutia mahali mbadala wa kuweza kujisitiri katika wakati huu wa shida.
And let us take a look at the situation in Embu County, whereby residents of Mbeere South have decried impassable roads worsened by sand harvesting along the Tana River. Kembere Ward and parts of Mavuria Ward have been cut off from Kiretire Market, whereby lorries get stuck along the Maram Road. They accuse the county government and the local leadership of collecting taxes without focusing on the repair of the road. The sand harvesters observe that they pay about 5,000 for every lorry, whereby the county government collects 2,000, while the community-based organization collects between 2,000 and 3,000 depending on the size of the lorry.
Mimi kama mkaanji wa hapa Kembere na Mavuria Ward niko na huzuni mwingi sana, sababu na sisi njia hakuna. Wale watu tulichagua ni kuchukua pesa na wale wengine kukula pesa, sababu kuna pesa ya parapara na roli inalipa, so roli inavaa ipitie kwa hii parapara. So wale tulichagua wanavaa, kama ni mama wachukue mama wakunja wamwage mahali tuko. Tuseme kama saa hii mama awe mjamzito, atapelekewa wapi? Si huyo mama tu atakuvia hapa pamoja na huyo mtoto anazaa. Mimi nauliza hao watu watuwekee hii parapara mawe.
Mandi na mbando sijapata usaidizi hata. Na wale watu wanakuja hakuna kushughulikia, labda wakituitisha mapesa. Kwa sibio tunalipanga 2,000, kanjo giribiri na mtu anaachiliwa aende. Kuna kitu kingine, hata ukipata shinda jiani hakuna mtu wa kushughulikia, hata gari ya kanjo huwezi pata. Na ukipigia MCA simu achukui, MP hawezi, hata senator na huku Mbeere South ashughuliki na sisi.
Right, it is the situation in Mbeere South, that is in Embu County. Now let us shift gears and head back to another story, matters school, whereby matters banditry in the North Rift region, and take a look on what is the situation that has been occurring there in the North Rift region. Remember, a joint operation has been taking place between the National Police Service, the Kenya Defence Forces, for an year plus now, just to look at how the situation is in that particular area. Now, still on that and to other matters whereby residents of, or rather matters school reopening in that particular area which has been affected by banditry, and we have the Senate Majority Leader Aaron Cheruiyot has joined other leaders from Rift Valley in advocating for the end of banditry in Kerio Valley. That is a part of the North Rift region, whereby local leaders led by Baringo leaders have been taking a look into that. Let us have a listen on what the leaders said.
Bunduki ndio wajunge watoto na kuhakikisha bandits wasikanyage shule. Tumekubaliana? So all our children, let's go to school, all security in all the primary schools affected, be vigilant and guard our children and as they continue with their education, and even provide our teachers with NBRs to become NBRs. Wanafundishwa kwa na bunduki, kitu ikilia wananyorosha kitu.
Mambo ya usalama, nafikiri tumeita jina banditry mpaka watu wamezoea, wanaona ni kama tu ni shida ya eneo fulani. Tunataka hata tubadilishe jina, tuache kuita banditry, iitwe economic terrorism. Hii watu wako hapa chini hawana tofauti na Al-Shabaab, wale wanaua watu bure. These are terrorists ambayo wanaumiza wananchi wa bure. Tunataka kuhakikishia serikali kwamba tafadhali ile mpango ambaye mlikuwa mmeanzisha juzi, kwa bahati mbaya tukampoteza General Ogola akija kuhakikisha kwamba mashule yamefunguliwa, tafadhali msiwachilie hiyo mpango.
So mupatie nafasi rais, kwa sababu ile vita ya banditry inaendelea hapa, sio tu kukuja kumwaga bomu ama kupiga risasi. Iko intelligence networks, serikali iko chini hapa inafanya kazi, na hii bandits wote wakuwe warned. You will be cleared and there is no country for bandits.
Elsewhere, Northeastern Regional Commissioner, that is John Otieno, announced on Saturday that preparations were in progress to transfer all internally displaced persons currently sheltered in school premises in anticipation of schools reopening on Monday. Addressing the press after inspecting Huga Girls Primary School, one of the facilities accommodating IDPs, to assess the flood situation, Otieno stated that following consultations with relevant government agencies and the Kenya Red Cross, alternative camps had been identified for the relocation of the IDPs. According to the Kenya Red Cross, a total of 13,770 IDPs are currently housed across 5 institutions within Garissa Township constituency following the overflow of the Tana River.
Tunakaa shule hii inaitwa Huga Girls Primary School. Kwa hivyo serikali asubuhi wametukumbia, wamesema watoto wenzetu wanataka masomo na inatakana tuondoke kwa shule, watatupeleka sehemu iko na amani tunaenda kuishi.
The security team na partners wetu tumeamua
Apologies for that. Elsewhere, the lack of security in the Kerio Valley has greatly affected the development in Elgeyo Marakwet County. This is a statement from retired Bishop Eliud Obukala. Speaking to journalists in Iten town after visiting the county while representing the review report known as County Peer Review, the retired bishop has asked the leaders from that county as well as neighboring counties to participate in efforts to restore peace in the Kerio Valley. Receiving the report, Elgeyo Marakwet County Governor, that is Wesley Rotich, has promised that despite the challenge of insecurity, he will struggle or rather make efforts to ensure that development is achieved.
Development must have peace to happen. And so I want to ask all of us in this region, my friends, in Elgeyo Marakwet, in Pokot, and then neighboring counties, can you please embrace peace so that we can benefit from these good things that our governors are trying to give us? Embrace reconciliation, embrace the idea of talking together and listening to each other. That's what God wants. With good peace in this area, I want to assure you It's an opportunity not just for yourselves here, but for the entire country. You are the hope of Kenya. Just peace alone. And that is something that even our church is concerned with, government is concerned, and as a panel-led leader here now that I've come, give us that as a gift by embracing peace.
In Elgeyo Marakwet County, we face a lot of challenges here on insecurity, but we are hopeful that this can end in the near future. But we are happy with the support even we have received from the church in terms of this process. So I'm happy with the report, and I want to say that even the negative aspects that have come out of this report, we are going to work on those sections or so those departments so that we can be able to improve.
Elgeyo Marakwet is one of the 12 counties that acceded to the mechanism after the Council of Governors in 2017 during the devolution, the 4th devolution conference, agreed to adopt this mechanism to hold each other to account on issues with regards to good governance and service delivery. That we have gotten to the point whereby the self-assessment report that was generated by his county, basically the county government and the citizens of Elgeyo Marakwet, has to now reach a point of validation whereby now it will move to the next level where the governor will have an opportunity to be peer-reviewed together with his colleagues during the county peer review mechanism summit later in June.
All right, 14 minutes past 1 p.m. East African time. Let us take a short commercial break, but do keep it TV 47. More news on the other side of the break. Welcome back, and thank you for keeping it TV 47 News Now. Now to more news. The Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Wetangula, together with the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, have asked the political leaders from the Western region to stop divisive politics and instead embrace harmony that will ensure development in the region. Speaking at the funeral of the mother of Director of Public Prosecution, Renson Igonga, Mumias East constituency, the two, together with other political leaders who attended, criticized those who have been hurling insults and humiliating respected leaders from that particular region.
Addressing mourners in Makunga, Mumias East constituency at a funeral of the mother of the Director of Public Prosecutions, Renson Inonga, Wetangula and Musalia appear to be outraged by the character of some leaders from the region to humiliate their colleagues and ask them to stop.
Na mimi nataka niwaambie, be very careful when you are in public space, because sometimes you may utter words that can make it extremely difficult for you to reconcile with your brother or sister later.
Sasa hawa vijana ambao wanapanda chuki kila siku, pick a lesson from Musalia and I. You will never see us talking at each other, insulting each other.
The statement was echoed by other leaders who attended, including Governors Fernandez Baraza of Kakamega, Polo Tuma of Busia, and members of parliament who said that the insult and conflict endangers their unity as a community.
Our unity is our strength. Our 10 million strong votes must count in 2032.
Our president needs to be given time and support. Whether you are in ODM, whether you are in Azimio, let us rally behind. Because the president's success is your success, Governor Baraza. It's our success.
Let us respect each other. Hata tukitaka kukosoana, there are better ways. You express yourself.
The KOTU Secretary General Francis Atoli, on his part, said that they are planning to have a Buhungu 3 declaration where they will announce the political direction as well as announce the spokesperson of Mlembe Nation.
Kama wanakubali itakuwa ni tarehe 27 mwezi wa Disemba mwaka wa 2026 ndio tutachukua position kali.
This urge to embrace unity has come at a time where there has been difference between Trans Nzoia County Governor George Natembeya and the Speaker of the National Assembly Moses Wetangula. Violet Auma, TV47, Kakamega.
Thank you, Violet, for that work. Elsewhere, as the fight against female genital mutilation continues, over 200 FGM survivors drawn mainly from counties that are prone to FGM and GBV vices gathered in Nairobi in a forum meant to build their capacity in spearheading the FGM fight. The Women's Summit under the Brighter Society Initiative organization highlighted the need for the society to embrace change and shun away from retrogressive cultural practices. The women and young girls were also called upon to take the initiative in sensitizing communities and become advocates of anti-FGM campaigns in the country. The speakers urged the FGM survivors to be strong and confident enough to safeguard themselves from trauma and protect their children and loved ones from the cuts.
My mother saved me, and I'm proud of her, and I want to say no to FGM.
So if survivors can talk, give themselves that space to all, they are given the opportunity to talk. It is actually the right way or the best way for people to relate with the effects of female genital mutilation, and for people not to think it's just an abstract thing, but it's something that has happened to us, is still happening, and the government also has come up with measures to eradicate female genital mutilation by 2030. So we must come together, give the survivors a voice, because we know and we will be dedicated to ensure that whatever we agree will push to ensure that we save our girls.
We can still come together, amplify our voices, that there is hope, and also to clear the myths around FGM, because we understand FGM out of experience. And as a voice, we are coming out very strongly to say that FGM is a gender-based violence. FGM is traumatizing. It has a long-term psychosocial effect to a victim.
If every survivor take an initiative to protect our own child, then we will be talking of big numbers in the next few years. The numbers of girls that have not gone through FGM.
The port of Lamu has continued to position itself as a logistic hub in the region as it received the largest consignment of 60,000 metric ton of fertilizer for transshipment to Ethiopia. The port, which was operationalized in 2021, has become a favorable port due to its efficiency in operations and easy connectivity to neighboring countries through the Lapsset corridor. The arrival of MV Abai 2 at the port of Lamu with the largest consignment, whereby fertilizer marks as a milestone in fostering transshipment business between Kenya's Lamu port and Ethiopia. The consignment from Morocco is the largest to have docked in Kenya, specifically at the port of Lamu, hence positioning the county as a logistic hub in the region.
time that we are seeing the realization of the dream of what the three governments intended to do. And what they wanted to do is to have prosperity and development within the region. We have been endeavored by a number of problems and can only be settled out if we have this kind of projects. They did it over 10 years ago, and it has taken us a decade to see the realization. Today marks that milestone that we are making the first step to realize the corridor operationalization.
All right, now matters mothers. Every second Sunday of May annually, the world celebrates Mother's Day. Mercy, a Sheka florist in Nairobi, says that this time round the Mother's Day packaging has been met with a challenge as the flower business has been affected by the ongoing rains. Aseka says that they have received a good number of orders to deliver flowers to mothers, others requesting cards with authentic messages for their mothers. And of course, Kenyans have had a chance to express their gratitude to their mothers across the country.
Kuna wale pia wenye their moms are not here around Nairobi maybe. Pia you can, on top of that big package yenye umemnunulia, you can order a bouquet of flowers na mpelekea tu for appreciation. At least atafurahia, deep in her, atajua mtoto wake amemsurprise. So you just order a bouquet of flowers. We have hata ya 1,500, 2,000, depending on your budget. Tunamdelivia paka penye hako huko ushago, apelekewe, at least pia afurahie, akona mtoto amemkumbuka. Na hiyo message tu ukiandika kwa card, I love you mom. Mama anaweza soma hiyo message na afurahie sana. Mimi kwa my mom, nikumwombea Mungu, na ningemwambia nampenda sana, nampenda sana kila wakati, daily, on a daily basis. See to him Mother's Day.
Sisi wote vile tuko hivi ni kwa ajili ya hawa mama. Kwa hivyo nachukua fursa hii kusema mama, popote ulipo, wewe ni mtu wa maana katika ulimwengu huu.
I want to say thank you to the mothers for the sacrifices they make to see to it that their kids grow in good health, and for the guidance they give us, because we are our mothers. And to my mom, I'd want to say thank you very much, Mama, for raising me to be the woman of character that I am.
Use this day to remind our beloved mothers and our beloved sisters, daughters, everybody, to celebrate the fathers who make them mothers, because without these fathers, nobody could be a mother.
Specifically dedicate this day to my amazing mother,